In a far-off corner of the galaxy, tensions had been building for years. The star system, known as Valorous, was home to many different alien species, each with its own culture, technology, and ambitions. Among them, the Zarnath Empire stood out as the most powerful and feared. The Zarnath were a warrior race, known for their advanced weaponry, strict military discipline, and desire to dominate other civilizations. They had already conquered several neighboring systems, and now their eyes were set on Valorous. The other races in Valorous were understandably nervous. They had formed alliances and signed treaties to try and protect themselves, but they knew that if the Zarnath decided to attack, their chances of survival were slim. The Zarnath fleet was massive, with warships capable of wiping out entire planets. The only thing that had kept them at bay so far was the delicate balance of power, and the hope that the Zarnath would be satisfied with their current conquests. But the Zarnath were not a race to rest on their laurels. They believed that it was their destiny to rule the galaxy, and they had been preparing for this invasion for years. Their spies had gathered intelligence on the weaknesses of the Valorous defenses, and their scientists had developed new weapons to ensure a swift and decisive victory. As the Zarnath fleet assembled in the outer reaches of the system, the leaders of the Valorous coalition, a loose alliance of the remaining races, met in a desperate attempt to come up with a plan. They knew that they could not defeat the Zarnath in a direct confrontation, but they hoped to delay the inevitable and perhaps find a way to negotiate a peace. Just as the coalition was finalizing their plans, they received an unexpected transmission from a distant part of the galaxy. The message was simple: Human Warship Incoming. The Valorous races had heard of humans, but they knew little about them. The humans had only recently begun exploring the galaxy, and they had not yet established themselves as a major power. They were seen as newcomers, still learning the ways of the cosmos. But there were rumors, whispers among the stars, about human ingenuity and their unpredictable nature. The Zarnath, however, dismissed the message as irrelevant. They had encountered humans before in small skirmishes, and found them to be weak and unworthy of their attention. Supreme Commander Varlas, the leader of the Zarnath fleet, was confident that nothing could stop their invasion. He ordered his fleet to proceed with the attack. As the Zarnath warships moved into position, a single blip appeared on their scanners. It was small, much smaller than the massive Zarnath battleships, but it was approaching fast. The Zarnath tactical officer reported that the blip was a human ship, and it was on a direct course for the heart of the Zarnath fleet. "Send a warning," Varlas commanded. "Tell them to turn back or be destroyed." The message was sent, and a reply came almost immediately. The voice that responded was calm and composed, with just a hint of warning in its tone. "This is Captain Alyssa Morgan of the UNSF Nemesis. We are aware of your intentions to invade Valorous. The United Earth Federation cannot allow this to happen. You have one chance to withdraw your forces and avoid conflict." Varlas sneered at the audacity of the human captain. "Prepare to destroy that ship," he ordered. "They think they can intimidate us with their bravado. Show them the might of the Zarnath Empire." The Zarnath warships, bristling with advanced weaponry, targeted the approaching Nemesis. They were confident that their overwhelming firepower would make short work of the human ship. But as they prepared to fire, the Nemesis suddenly altered its course. What happened next took the Zarnath completely by surprise. The Nemesis began moving in erratic patterns, zigzagging through the void with a speed and agility that defied the Zarnath's tracking systems. Their targeting computers struggled to lock onto the vessel, and every shot they fired missed its mark. "How is this possible?" one of the Zarnath officers exclaimed. "They're dodging every attack." Varlas clenched his fists in frustration. "It's a trick," he said. "They can't keep this up forever. Focus all firepower on that ship and bring it down." But no matter how hard they tried, the Zarnath couldn't hit the Nemesis. The human warship continued its erratic dance, slipping through the Zarnath's defenses as if it were toying with them. And then, without warning, the Nemesis struck back. The human ship closed the distance between itself and the Zarnath fleet with astonishing speed. Before the Zarnath could react, the Nemesis unleashed a barrage of hyper-accelerated kinetic projectiles. These were not energy beams or missiles that could be intercepted or deflected by shields. These were physical projectiles, moving at incredible speeds, capable of punching through armor and hull with devastating force. The first salvo hit the Zarnath flagship, the pride of their fleet, with unerring precision. The massive ship shuddered under the impact, its shields failing instantly as the projectiles tore through its hull. Alarms blared throughout the ship as systems began to fail, and the crew scrambled to contain the damage. Varlas watched in disbelief as his flagship, the most powerful warship in the Zarnath Empire, was brought to its knees by a single human vessel. "How can this be?" he muttered. "This shouldn't be possible." But the Nemesis wasn't finished. With the flagship disabled, the human ship turned its attention to the rest of the Zarnath fleet. In a series of rapid, coordinated strikes, the Nemesis targeted the key vessels in the fleet, command ships, carriers, and weapons platforms. One by one, the Zarnath warships were disabled or destroyed, their advanced technology useless against the humans' unconventional tactics. The Zarnath fleet, once a symbol of unstoppable power, was now in complete disarray. Panic spread among the Zarnath commanders as they realized they were being systematically outmaneuvered and outgunned. The humans were fighting a different kind of war, one that the Zarnath were not prepared for. "All ships, fall back," Varlas ordered, his voice tinged with desperation. "Retreat to the outer perimeter." But it was too late. The Nemesis had already broken the Zarnath's formation, and the fleet's retreat quickly turned into a rout. Ships collided with one another in the chaos, and those that tried to escape were picked off by the Nemesis with ruthless efficiency. As the last of the Zarnath warships limped away, Captain Morgan's voice crackled over the comms once more. "Let this be a lesson to you, Supreme Commander Varlas. Humanity does not seek war, but we will not stand by and allow tyranny to go unchecked. Your ambitions end here." With the battle over, the Nemesis held its position for a moment, as if daring any remaining Zarnath ships to challenge it. None did. The human warship then turned and began its journey back to Earth, leaving the shattered remnants of the Zarnath fleet in its wake. The news of the battle spread quickly throughout the galaxy. The Zarnath Empire, once feared by all, had been defeated not by a vast armada or superior technology, but by the cunning and resolve of a single human warship. The other races in Valoris, who had braced themselves for annihilation, now celebrated their unexpected deliverance. For the first time, the galaxy began to understand the true power of humanity, not in their numbers or their technology, but in their ability to think differently, to adapt, and to overcome even the most impossible odds. And from that day forward, a new legend was born among the stars. When the rumors began to spread of a human warship entering a conflict, the enemies of Earth knew one thing for certain: when a human warship is incoming, the battle is already lost.